Hi, I am Dr. Eurydice Moore, and I want to welcome you to the 501c3 Grant Writing Academy, where you can learn 501c3, you can learn about grant writing. And we are living in an era where people are interested in obtaining grant for their nonprofit or their for-profit or both. You can have a non-for-profit and a for-profit. But today we are going to cover what is known as micro grant writing, also known as grant application. But first, I want to let you know that I have been writing grants since April 1985. I wrote for the CPS, Chicago Public School System. I wrote grants for different schools. I wrote grants for nonprofit, churches, social service agencies. So I have 30 plus years in grant writing. And I want to thank you for selecting this course as part of the Academy, in which you will receive a certificate upon completion of this course. Now, and then, you might decide you want to be a grant writer yourself. It is an unregulated field. You don't need a degree to be a grant writer. But I strongly recommend that you like to read because it requires researching. And you're a pretty good speller. And you're good in counting. One, two, three. All right, enough about me. I have had a nonprofit and for a profit. I've been on both sides. I know what's required for both sides. So, anyway, I am going to start this course, share my screen. And as you take the course, take notes. If you have questions, you can contact me at 773-544-5341. 773-544-5341. Now we're going to enter into the world of grant writing, starting with the micro grant. Okay. You have before you. Um, all right. You have before you micro grant information workshop. The overview is how to prepare and be eligible to receive a grant. Okay, you have my trademark showing two rings. Both rings are significant in my life. The mission, Eurydice mission, to help people by assisting emerging nonprofit leaders and startup and to be eligible to attain funding for their nonprofit. Now, this micro grant section is for those that have nonprofit, but I have a session where it's specifically for profit. My credentials. I have 30 plus years of experience with churches, schools, and agencies and have helped them acquire 3,000 in resource development funding. My first business was Eurydice Moore and Associate in 2004 to present and served over 12,000 plus clients in distribution of free grant, resource development information, incorporate in 501c3 status. All right. Then January 2016, I opened a second business, and that was for business startup or setup to provide coaching, training, and development, grant writing, and resource development. Okay. Uh, First thing we're going to do is take a quiz. Now, I know I can't hear your answers, and I trust you to not cheat. Don't Google any of this. Question: nonprofit leaders. Can you listen? Are these questions yes or no? You can buy a living room set with grant money. You can buy postage stamps with grant money. You can pay a plumber with grant money. You can buy a vehicle with grant money. You can travel to another state with grant money. You can purchase you can purchase airline tickets with grant money. You can renovate a building with grant money. Yes or no? That is the question. Oops, sorry. Uh, the quiz continues. You can buy band-aids with grant money. You can pay employees with grant money. You can pay for a business license with grant money. All right. Now we're going to go back over this. Every last one of those questions is a yes. There is no no. Yes, you could buy living room furniture with a grant money, but you have to be a nonprofit that have either shelter, housing program like affordable housing, transitional housing. Uh, you gotta have you gotta be a nonprofit that is have housing services. You could buy postage stamps with grant money if it's general operation grant. See, the grants that you complete will tell you what and what you cannot do with grant money. You can pay a plumber, yes, with grant money. However, the non for profit has to own the property, and the property has to be in the nonprofit name. Vehicle. You can purchase a vehicle with grant money, but the vehicle has to be in the name of the nonprofit. It cannot be in the name of the executive director or any board member or community member. The vehicle has to be in the name of the nonprofit. Now, caution: if you receive grant money and you misappropriate funds, you can go to jail. You can be arrested, or the funders will ask you to return the money and give you a specific time to return the money. Then you get blackballed. You won't be able to reapply for grants with that funder. And news get around, you may not be able to apply for grant with other funders. Now, you can travel to another state with grant money. Yes, you can. If the grant states that you in your budget you are attending conferences or meetings, then the grant will cover that. But it has to be related to the organization mission and the programs and services that you provide. You can purchase airline ticket with grant money. Yes, you can. Once again, if whatever your grant designate, what it will allow, and it be in the budget. You can renovate a building with grant money. Yes, but the building has to be in the name of the nonprofit. Okay. Let me see. You can buy Band-Aids with grant money. Yes, you can, but you have to have a health or a health and wellness program. Maybe you want to do a community health fair, and you could buy first aid kits, Band-Aids, any health related products for, once again, it's in the name of the nonprofit, and it's for community service, health care, health and wellness, any type of programs like that. You can pay employees with grant money. Yes, you can. Grant money can be used for payroll if it's a general operation grant or a grant program that allow for salary. Because some program, the money they give you is specifically for the program. No salaries allowed. You can pay for a business license with grant. Yes, you can. Okay. I have received a grant and it took care of my City of Chicago business license. All right, we want to talk about the origin and evolution of grants. How do grants come about? They come about through taxes. Yeah, those income tax that you pay on the state and federal level. Sales tax, taxes that you pay your city. Um, and those grants, the types of grants that are formed from those sources are general operation grant, programs grant, capital seed, or also known as startup. A general operation grant is a grant that covers everything from A to Z. Rent, utility, phone, uh, contractors, subcontractors, postage, mailing, envelope, equipment, supplies, furnishing, office furniture. Yes. Then you have a program. Let's say you have a computer program. So the grant money goes for computers, software, uh, computer table, desks, chairs, you know. Capital grant is grant where you can purchase property or renovate a property that you have in a non-for-profit name. Okay, seed or startup grant. Seed or startup is grants that you spanking brand new. You just got out the gates and you're trying to get started. And there are grants to help people. You got your business license, you got your credentials, you got a bank account, and you might have been just getting started for the last 6 months or maybe a year. There are grants to help you. Grants come from local, county, state, federal governments. The government, your city, your state, your county, and the federal government have grant opportunity. Businesses, local businesses like down the street from you give out grants. Foundations and corporations give out grants. Now, I want to talk about yesteryear versus today. Many, many years ago, grants was anywhere from 60 to 80 pages. Now, they have been streamlined and put online, and grant application can be anywhere from 1 page. The maximum I've seen is 12 pages. That's the max I've seen in grants. Maximum amount of pages. It's where before it would take weeks or months to work on grants in the yesteryear. But today, it takes anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes to do a grant. Okay. So things are simpler now. What is a micro grant? Micro grant versus other grants and funding history. That's what we're getting ready to look at. Micro grants are usually 1 to 4 pages. You could do them online. Usually take 10, 20 minutes or a little bit more to complete. The funding range from 100 to 25,000. These are known as small grants as well. Now, the funders don't require a whole lot of information. They just ask a few questions, then they decide whether to fund you. Now, when you go over the 25,000, that's when a lot of documentations are required. There's a lot of stipulation for greater amount. Okay, someone might say that's not enough money, but envision if you had 10 funders that give you $10,000 each. That's $100,000. Okay, so think in terms of number. You're going to apply to more than one funder. Okay, another thing is these applications are short, and sometimes funders use a one-page document online, and they use it as screening whether or not to give you an invite to apply for a grant. So you fill out a one-page document. Somebody reads it. If they're interested in you, then they send you a link. You click on the link, and here's the application, and you begin to fill it out. Now, some funders do what is called an eligibility quiz, where they ask a bunch of questions, and usually about 10 questions, anywhere from 5 to 10 questions. And based on your answer, you're told right then and there whether you're eligible to apply for the grant. Okay. Now, in order to apply for grants, if you're a nonprofit, you must first meet the eligibility of being a nonprofit. You have to be incorporated by the Secretary of State. You have to have board members, minimum 3. You can have as many board members as you want. They don't even have to live in the state. They could be in a different state. They could be in a different country. You have to have bylaws. Bylaws are rules, policy, regulation that govern the nonprofit. You have to have the 501c3 status, which comes from the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, which give you a host of tax exempt. If you interested in knowing the 11 different ways that you can use your 501c3, go to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, subscribe, and you can click on that video and learn what all you can do with your 501c3 besides apply for a grant. The Attorney General office, you need to be registered. It depends on the state. You need to be registered with the Department of Revenue. That depends on the state. Okay. Um, Now, once you meet the qualification of becoming a non-for-profit organization, now you got to meet the requirement to apply for a grant application or known as micro grant. The funders expect you to have the 501c3, a email, a website, a social media presence. These days, they are looking for you to be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and others. They want to know, do you have a social media presence? They expect you to have a business bank account. They frown on if you use your personal bank account because they want you to avoid commingling of your money. So you need to open up a business bank account. They will require you to have a W-9 form from the Internal Revenue Service. All you have to do is go to Internal Revenue Service website and do a search, the W-9 form, download it, fill it out, upload it to the funder. Now they're asking for videos. They're asking for 30-minute videos. Some ask for 1 minute, some ask for 3. So do a video. Have a video ready that you can submit. Um, Now we're going to look at the format. I noticed the trend. There's a trend with the funders. Okay, first they start out asking for your personal information. They want to know your name, they want to know your title, your phone number, your email, your address, city, state, zip code. All right, now that's you. Now they ask for your organization information. They want your organization name, address, city, state, zip. Do the organization have a social media presence? How long have you been established? What industry are you in? Or what services, activities that you provided? Are you doing youth services, family services? Are you doing after school program, food distribution program? And then many of them want to know, have you had anyone to fund you? And if you do, they want to know if you did the dollar amount. Then there's a part when you get to and through the grant, they want to know, what do you plan to do with the requested funds? Do you plan to expand? Do you plan to hire? You want to use the funds for professional service, where you hire an accountant, or you do some training, acquire some training. What do you plan to do with the funds? Get equipment, help you with your inventory, uh, operational costs. What do you plan on doing? Paying salary? What do you plan on doing with the funds once you receive it? Then they want the name of the contact person that they can contact in regards to the grant, or they can follow up on. There a lot of them is asking how COVID has affected your nonprofit. They might leave a little blank and you fill in, and you let them know whether due to COVID you couldn't operate your business at all. You was under the mandatory law that only essential businesses was allowed to operate. Or you could put that your business was located in a restricted building, or you could put that your business was affected because clients stayed home, or your business was affected because vendors couldn't make deliveries. Then you have to put your industry code. Many of them want your industry code. So what do that mean? They want to. There's the NAISC. You could Google, and you could put in Google what you do, and a code will come up, and it's a NAISC code, which identifies the service that you provide. Also, funders require you to upload your proof of your 501c3, recent bank statement. They want bank account, your bank routing number, a governmental ID. It could be a driver license, a passport, state ID. And these are things that you upload. Now, if you try to get grants over 25,000, remember I told you there's additional documentation. You have to submit the article of incorporation, the bylaws, board list, letter of support. You will get a letter of support from an alderman, a state rep, a state senator, or a clergy, someone in position of authority, community member. So, a letter of support that they are aware of you, and that uh, they know you. That's really what it is. It's like an indirect reference that they have heard of you, they know you, they can check and verify. All right. Now, some additional information on the grant. They will ask, these are usually yes or no, or you make a menu selection. Are you a veteran? Are you disabled? Uh, what's your minority status? Are you Black, African American, Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic? You make the selection to identify your status. Also, they want to know your gender, male, female. Are you LGBTQ? Yes or no? Then many other funders. How do you plan to help the community? So they asking you again, what you would notice in grants, questions are repetitious. They want to know again, what do you plan on doing with those funds? Who are you planning to help? Okay. Now, I have uploaded some sample. This is an actual grant that I did. You see, it's real simple, nothing fancy. You see that? Real simple. Let me see if I can zoom it. No, it won't let me zoom. Real simple. Look at that format. How many pages was that? 3 pages. Surely you could do a 3-page grant. And that grant award was for $1,000. Okay, here go another. This is one of my clients. This is Ross. Okay, 3 pages. Remember, I said grant could be anywhere from 1 page up to 12, and it could take 20 minutes to do. Okay, now the resources. I strongly recommend you use Gmail. I strongly recommend you get a financial institute at a bank or credit union. Website, if you don't have a website, go to web.com or Vistaprint. Social media, make sure you are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Um, I have listed some grants that you can go, website you can go and practice and actually submit grant based on this workshop. There's the Austin Foundation. The most you can get from them is 1,000. Walmart, grant.gov. And then here's some grant website where you can look up additional grant. Grant Station, Forefront, Urban Awareness, USA, chronological of philosophy today, city of Chicago, state of Illinois, and I am available to help you with your grant writing or grant technical support as you work on grants for your nonprofit, for profit. Announcement, I do monthly grant management. Now, what do you do after you get the grant? The grant has to be managed. Grants are usually 1 year. Sometimes they'll give you 2, 3 years. The most I ever known was 5 years. Um, I do resource development quarterly. What is resource development? There are other funding opportunities besides grants. I go over the different opportunities. Proposal letter writing, I do that, teach that. Proposal grant writing, quarterly. I have books for sale. And then these items that you see, I will be coming to the academy. Will be under the umbrella of the academy, the 501c3 Grant Writing Academy. Okay, here's a book for recommendation for reading, resource development, going to the next level. And here's my contact information. You really see 501c3 at gmail.com. You have my phone number 773-544-5341. My website www.eurydice.com. My Facebook page www.facebook.com/Eurydice. Know that Eurydice is a minority owned business enterprise, MBE, and a women owned business enterprise, WBE. And we recently became a BEP DBE certified organization, which is giving us state and federal. So we're certified on the city, state, county, and Fed level. It's a certified consulting firm since October 2020, and Any information shared or any information that I share with you was strictly for educational purposes. Seek counsel where applicable. If you are in need of a lawyer, you contact a lawyer. You're in need of a CPA, which is a certified public accountant or an accountant, you contact them. So, I am a business consultant. I am not a lawyer, and I'm not a CPA, and I'm not an accountant. So, I share information. I am an educator by trade. January 2021. If this presentation cannot be copied or distributed without the express written permission of your literacy or management team. Okay, so please do not share this with anyone. Let them take the course like you did. Okay, or if you would like to teach this course, then you have to get written permission. There are books available for you to purchase that will enable you to teach this course along with the presentation. And you can contact me with the contact information. And I would just like to thank you for taking this course. You could rate this on Google Rating. If there's any questions, you can contact me, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. And that's it. And once you have completed this, then you'll be issued a certificate. So I want to thank you for taking this course, the micro grant writing course. And hopefully you have gained information that you can use to get your non-for-profit funded. Once again, I am Dr. Eurydice Moore. You can reach me at 773-544-5341. Or you can contact me at my email, eurydice501c3 at gmail.com. So I thank you once again for taking this course. Now take what you learn, for it is relevant and applicable. Thank you.